You know, I saw Tyra, I saw Naomi Campbell, but I can name the black models, I'll be honest. So I can't even imagine what it was like for Tyra and some of the adversity that she probably had to deal with.
That was the most challenging aspect of that industry, because she was constantly told that black models didn't sell magazines. Black models don't get advertising campaigns. Black models don't wear winter clothes very well. They look best when their dark skin is exposed in summer wear with, you know.
I've never even heard of that. I have no idea.
One thing after another. A trait that we both have is don't tell us that you can't do something. There's always a way in. It may be on the side door, the back door, the basement door, a tunnel. You find it, and continue moving forward.
Let's talk about Tyra Banks for a moment. World-renowned model, TV personality, writer, producer, and mom. While the supermodel has become a household name, not many people know the supermom who raised her. It's time for you to meet Carolyn London.
She's nervous. She got a head rag and roll.
Hi, stage mom.
You know your lines, right?
To start, you have two kids. Tell us a little bit about each of them.
Well, my firstborn is Devin. He's a curious anthropological bookworm.
Okay.
But at the same time, the life of the party. Tyra, on the other hand, is the creative. She would look at TV commercials when she was in elementary school, and she would say, now, you know, if they had put that hamburger on a different kind of plate and then had that girl walk over and pick it up, it was like, what are you doing? You're dissecting commercials?
Now take me back to the thick of those early years. What was it like for you?
I got divorced when Tyra was 5 years old. And so I became a single mom. When you look back and you think, how did I do it? And did it not in a negative mindset, but in a positive mindset. I raised both of my children with this saying that I would say, look to the other side. It's not about where you are now, but where you want to go, and envision yourself there.
Tyra's brand, a lot of it is authenticity, and I think that's why people gravitate towards her. And so you see this, especially young kids now, they see this beautiful model, they see this woman on television, and she's very honest about the fact that she dealt with bullying as a child, and that, you know, she learned, you know, a lot of that insecurity, you know, they called her a giraffe, or they called her an ugly duckling. Where was that girl versus this model? Like how do we reconcile the two?
You know, you see how tall she is. She's 5'11", and she had a growth spurt, and it was the craziest thing ever. She grew 6 inches in a few months.
But how did you help her get through that? I mean, middle school years can be tough for a lot of kids.
What I did was I concentrated less on her appearance and more on her abilities and her character. We would take trips to the bookstore, art exhibits, the museum, because those are the things that she really loved doing. Another thing that I strongly believe in is being open, honest, and truthful with your children. So they knew that they could come to me for anything, and I mean anything.
Was there a train trip from like LA to San Francisco where you talked about the birds and the bees, so she couldn't run anywhere? You were on a train?
She couldn't get off the train. That was the birds and the bees. I told her that I wanted her to know everything. I did not want her to end up like me. I was a teen mother. I had my son when I was 18 years old, and I had him out of ignorance. So I said, I want you to know what I didn't. And I put her on that train and I told her everything.
So tell me then about your at-home photography business. I find this fascinating.
I was working as a biological photographer, a medical photographer. The photographs that are taken of the patients were used for continuing medical education, or they went into medical textbooks. And then I had a friend who worked in the fashion industry. She called me one day and she said they had an assignment, and I did it and was very successful and got rehired. In the process of doing that, Tyra would sometimes come with me on my photo assignments. A lot of the models that I was working with would say, have you ever thought about her being a model? And I was like, oh, please. So one day she came to me and she goes, Mom, maybe this is something I should look into. So I said, okay, you go and you do your research and you tell me what you find out about that industry. And she came back a week later and she told me, this is a go-see.
So now fast forward in time, she gets a scout call that she should go to Paris. When did you get involved as her manager? Like, how did you say, you know what, this is going to be something, I need to be involved?
She was accepted at 5 colleges. She decided to go to Loyola Marymount in Los Angeles. That is when I got that call. I told her that I would support her in whatever decision she made because it's not my life, it's hers. But the one thing that I did say, once again, you are starting a business. You are the commodity. So you are going to study. You are going to know that business inside out before you step on any airplane. She looked at videotapes of runway models through the ages, and she said, you know what? Every single one of them has a signature walk. And I said, well, looks like we need to work on a Tyra Walk. So that's what we did.
And boy, did she ever, because we know Tyra's Walk.
She had almost immediate success. So most girls who are, 17 years old going into Paris, the agency told us they usually get, 4 or 5 fashion shows. Tyra was booked for 24, and that is where everything went crazy. Then the press started following her. What is your name? Where do you come from?
What did that feel like as a mom to see that around that swirl around your child?
It was so scary, Chanel. It was really, I basically just stepped in and said, from now on, you don't book things, you just do it through me. I didn't really realize that I was managing her. I was just taking care of my child.
She was the first Black woman on the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue cover. One of the first Black models to sign a contract with Victoria's Secret. How does it feel as her mom, or how did it feel back then?
I got a phone call from the president of IMG Model, and he goes, your daughter is going to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I just sat still, just quiet, and I thought to myself, she did it. She said, I'm not going to let them tell me that a Black woman can't sell magazines. It was a feeling of accomplishments as a mother, instilling that much in your child, to know that she's truly a trailblazer.
Could you exhale then? Had you already exhaled? I mean, because it's almost like it's such a storm.
You know what? She didn't give me a chance to exhale ever, to this day. It just keeps going. It just keeps rolling.
Tyra's now a mom herself. What has it been like to watch your child become a mom?
I waited a long time for that. When she finally decided that she wanted to do that, she had a difficult time, and I went through that with her. But when she finally did it, it was life-altering for me. I'm really happy for her. I wanted her to have another one, but she said no.
Don't push it, Carolyn. What is the one piece of advice or words of wisdom you would pass along to other moms?
I believe that to be truthful and honest with your children, create a relationship where they feel comfortable enough to come to you for anything. I think that's so important. I take my greatest pride in being mama, just being mama.
I'm giving you a hug again. You were so good. I could talk to you for 5 hours.